In this video, I'll be presenting an integration scenario and showing how it can be solved with Red Hat JBoss Views using Apache Camel, followed by a short demonstration of the code. In our demo scenario, we are picking up a point-of-sale XML file from a till and placing the record in a database. But of course, we are going to have multiple tills and we want to ensure our solution gives us business flexibility. For example, if we need to store the file from a different type of till, received by a different mechanism in a different format. So what's our solution? Well, if you didn't guess from the title, it's using Red Hat JBoss Views and Apache Camel. Using these tools, we're going to build our solution using service-oriented architecture and microservices to give us the business flexibility we require. JBoss Views is a lightweight and flexible integration platform from our partner, Red Hat, which allows rapid integration of enterprise applications. Views combines various open source technologies together as a single product, including Apache Camel and Apache MQ. Camel is an open-source Java framework used within Views for implementing enterprise integration patterns using service-oriented architecture and microservices. It can work with any kind of transport such as REST, JMS, web service, and many more. Finally, Camel gives developers a choice of domain-specific languages to work with, including Java, Spring, and Blueprint. Let's look at the design. Traditionally, a lot of integration has been done as point-to-point. In our scenario, files from the tills with the same file format and transport mechanism would be picked up by the camel route and the records persisted into the database. However, if we wanted to add another type of till with a different format or transport mechanism, we would have to create all the code again. This does not give us the business flexibility we need. So what should we do? As per before, files from our tills of the same type will be processed by a camel route. This route will transform the files and place them onto an MQ topic. Subscribed to this topic is another camel route which persists the records to the database. This pattern is called publish subscribe and we'll see one of the benefits in a minute. When we add our second type of till, it is exposed by another camel route which transforms the file and places the records onto the same MQ topic. In this design, each camel route is a microservice and it allows us to reuse the code which persists the data to the database. For two file types, this might not seem like a huge advantage, but when adding more it becomes more obvious, especially when the reused code needs to be updated. Now on to the demo itself. All the code shown can be found on the Estafet GitHub linked at the bottom of the screen. We have two camel routes. The first, PostJournal file receiver, will pick up the point-of-sale journal XML file from a folder location and publish it onto an MQ topic. Our second route, PostJournal loader, subscribes to this topic and then stores the record in the database. Note how we're using the publish-subscribe pattern. Let's have a quick look at the code for these two routes. This is the Views Integration Development Environment, which is a plugin for Eclipse. Earlier, I mentioned Camel allows you to use different domain-specific languages, and I have chosen Blueprint as it allows you to develop with the user interface you can see here. On the right here, you can see many of the components that can be used in Camel development. This is the first of the two routes, PostJournal file receiver. At the start, you can see we have our file component which picks up the file from the directory. We then validate the file using schema validation. If successful, we place the file on the topic which is created using Views itself. If unsuccessful, we place the file in an error folder. Now we can change to take a look at our second route, PostJournal loader. At the start, you can see we subscribe to the topic. We then transform to a POJO before using the SQL component to store the record. Let's show it running. First, let's check the database is empty. And now, we'll take a look at the input file. As you can see, a nice simple XML file. We're going to copy the file and drop it into our input folder. You can see that's been taken by Camel. We can check our database and see the record has been persisted. Now we have a very simple integration where we are picking up a file and placing the record in our database. But what about if we need to add another way of receiving our PostJournal files? The good thing about publish and subscribe is that the publishers don't care about the subscribers and the subscribers don't care about the publishers. This means we can add another publisher and reuse our PostJournal loader route without making any changes. To extend our scenario, we are now going to also receive our PostJournal files via email attachments in CSV format. To handle this, we are adding another camel route, PostJournal email receiver. It publishes to our existing topic, and this means we can reuse the functionality of our PostJournal loader route. The new route can be found in the GitHub repository. Just as we can add publishers, Publish Subscribe also gives us the flexibility to change subscribers without changing any existing functionality. For example, if we wanted to store our records in a file location instead. Or we could even store them in both. As a summary, Fuse is an integration platform that uses Camel to implement enterprise integration patterns using service-oriented architecture and microservices. In the demo, I showed Fuse using a publish-subscribe messaging pattern, which gives us loose coupling and therefore allows for easy reuse of code and business flexibility. Thank you for watching.